Politicians like attention. And number two, it gives leverage. I mean, to be a senator from West Virginia under normal circumstances is not all that big a deal, but to be the kingpin, that is, the person who has the deciding vote as to what's going to be in this $3.5 trillion bill and how much, whether voting rights are going to be carved out of the filibuster. I mean, that is a huge deal, a huge responsibility. It also means that the conservatives and Republicans in West Virginia may be slightly more inclined to vote for him next time he's up for reelection. And it means he's probably going to get a lot of money from conservative groups, from oil companies, from other groups and interests that don't necessarily like the direction the Democrats want to go in. I was asking Julianne about, the idea that, we don't necessarily like the direction the Democrats want to go in. I was asking Julianne. Thank you for listening to the Nubian Comedic Spectrum channel. I don't support the Democratic Party. I just want to make that clear. Again, my channel is just for inspiration and for conversation within the Black community. I used to like Julian Malveaux, and I used to be a Christian. I no longer support Christianity or the Democratic Party. That doesn't mean that I support Republican. I support the Black agenda. That's what I support. I support foundations and advocacies like ADOS. And like I said, there are two others of interest, and I won't mention them until I do some research of my own. But again, I don't support the Democratic Party, and I did used to like Miss Julianne Malveaux. You got some that's 50-50 and not totally sellout, and then you got those that are a sellout, and some in black skin don't even realize it. And this is why I do what I do. I'm not doing what I'm doing to make friends or anything. I'm doing what I'm doing for the Black community. I'm doing this so that we can have conversation amongst each other, and we can resolve issues and come to our own conclusions and reach goals within our community amongst each other. Also, it's good that Yvette Carnell is back. I do support Yvette Carnell. But in saying that, if these pro-Black advocacies, to me, if they represent or seem to be going astray, I will confront that. I will expose it. I will address it. Again, I do like and support Yvette Carnell, but yesterday my new phone, which I'm kind of 50-50 with all this technology stuff, it's irritating at times. My spell check misspelled something. If you want to, you can go and see the video she did yesterday. My dates is kind of off. I believe it was the 8th. This past September, Yvette did a live. All you have to do is see it. You'll see me on there, and I had meant to put y'all and they put yellow. Then they blocked me. I want to say this, and I hope a lot of people in the Black community listen to this. And I don't mind clarifying it. And if don't no one understand this statement or misinterpret it, please comment or call or reach my email, greenguzzlers@gmail.com. If these advocacies, turn a little hoity-toity or something, I'm not going to let it offend me, because I know they got standards and professionalism, and it's things that I just don't understand that they're dealing with. But don't turn people like me, that was before YouTube, that was before they even knew anything about it, Yvette, and a tone and ADOS. which I've been promoting for years, all through the South Side of Chicago. Did nobody know nothing about ADOS? I got proof. Professionals. I'm talking doctors, nurses, police officers, neighborhood people that's involved in the neighborhood. I've spoken with them about ADOS, and they was for Black Lives Matter. They was for other they churches and stuff. And I was, Stroger Hospital. They know me. Right before Black Lives Matter did that they little protest at Providence and Stroger's last year, like days before that, I was there, urging them. I'm talking some of their bosses in these hospitals not to deal with Black Lives Matter because it's really not for the Black community. You know, I'm doing that. I'm talking about ADOS. Did nobody know about ADOS back in 2017, 2018, and 2019? Did nobody in the South Side, hardly nobody knew about Michi. Some did, it was still, did nobody know. I'm going around preaching ADOS and talking black, but if I disagree with something, I get blocked. These mods block you. Sometimes, the people who channel it's on, I'm not gonna say names, do it too. And I'm gonna say this: if y'all get into that mode of y'all think y'all too good for poor black folks, or what y'all would say undereducated black folks, because I don't have any big degrees. I got some education. I've done some studying over the years. I'm not a big scholar. I'm learning, but I'm for the black community, and I got receipts. I've always stood for justice when it came to the black community. So, and I will follow up on this, but it's kind of tripped out to me when there are people, I don't care if they have publicly done things for the black community, because it's people that done and stood for justice for the black community that'll never be heard, never be seen, never get accolades. So I'm always mindful of the ones that do stick out and do things for the black community that don't get heard. They ain't thinking about clout. Did a lot, risk a lot, stood for justice. Thank you, Fannie Lou Hamer. And but she was on top. But the point is, she had heart, and that's one of my idols. So I'm doing it from the heart now. If I'm making mistakes, please correct me. But don't block me, please, because I don't think that's fair. And y'all supporters do justice for y'all, and y'all may not even know it. That goes for Tone Talks or anybody else. And I just want to make that clear. I will follow up on that, on this subject I'm speaking on about black people doing better, rising. Even though it's, for the black community, y'all doing work for the black community, still don't get big-headed with it. Let's not do this to ourselves. Okay, I made a simple mistake on it was a spell check, and it wasn't even, was not intentionally trying to say anything offish. But y'all get into this point where y'all want to cut people off and stuff, and sometimes that's just not fair. So I just wanted to say that. But I will follow up on it. Right now, I'm in pain right now, so y'all bear with me. It be a lot of personal things going on, and I apologize for the annoyance and the misunderstandings.
Last one, go ahead. I was asking Julianne about, the idea that, we get it. Most people in West Virginia voted for Donald Trump by a long shot. A Democrat has not won a single county in West Virginia since before Barack Obama. So we get it, right? So he has to play to the locals. And they are very conservative in their voting, at least on the presidential level. However, do you buy this idea that the only way he can remain a Democrat, remain in the camp, is that he bucks the camp? No, I don't. Secretary Rice.
Charles, I don't think that that's the only option he has. I think that he wants to be a member of the Democratic Party. That was his choice initially. Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer have a lot of leverage over him because he is a Democratic senator in terms of what committee assignments he gets and how he's treated by the Democratic National Committee. I mean, this is a man, and we're talking about Joe Manchin, who is a Democrat. He is also supported by a lot of working people. And remember, Democrats have been traditionally the party of working America since Franklin D. Roosevelt.
But y'all don't
West
speak for
Virginia itself
ADOS
is a
solely.
Democratic state,
It's
and so
ADOS
the
first,
race that you
y'all.
mentioned really is not purely playing politics here in a kind of a cynical way. I think he, as I said, I think he likes the attention and the leverage, and perhaps it is going to help him with money and votes.
Charles, if I could just respectfully disagree with Secretary Reich, who I'm a big fan of yours, but I think that West Virginia is one of the poorest states in this nation. West Virginia gains disproportionately with the passage of the $3.5 trillion Infrastructure Act. It seems to me that Joe Manchin is operating outside the interest of his people for his personal political interest.
Julian Malveaux, Dean of the College of Ethnic Studies at California State University at Los Angeles.
People make barely the minimum wage. If they would step up for their people, our nation would be better off. But I don't buy that Manchin is, a working state, blah, blah. I think that the man is just selfish and greedy.
You may be right.
What Democrats you know that ain't selfish and greedy, Miss Julian Malveaux?
That I know in my experience. There is a lot of selfishness and a lot of greed out there, and especially.
Yes, it is, and it will be addressed.
Or at least politicians from Republican states, where where you've got a lot of working class and poor people who vote Republican against their interests because they've been sold a bill of goods, because the Republicans are very good at messaging, much better than Democrats, and because they're very good at using social issues to disguise what they're doing economically.
Well, I think you're absolutely
and
right.
so does Dem. So does the Democrats. Again, shout out to Charles Blow and BNC. And you can watch this. It was published September 9th, 2021. BNC News. Again, what Democrats, y'all know, that's being honest. Democrats are very disingenuous. And that's what I'm trying to get the Black community to understand. That's why we don't support Democrats. We're not against Black people. But Democrats are very, deceptive. And they use the Black community. And for years, our Black politicians been allowing our votes to just add up to help support the Democratic Party, but not do anything specifically for ADOS first. They'll even tell you they're not going to do anything for us, and y'all still vote for them. So I don't understand that we do it to ourselves. These Democrats are in Black skin, using the Black community, a lot of them. Maybe not all, maybe. You might got a handful or two that really wants to change for the Black community. And again, I know ADOS may have to work with churches, with Black elites, with white people. But I still believe that ADOS is for the Black community. But if they go astray, you got my word, I'm not going to be silent about it. Any of them, not just ADOS, any of them. I'm like my girl, Michi X, and shout out to her. She keeps it real. She loves the Black community. I'm not saying I agree with her everything, but just about everything. And the few things that I'm kind of skeptical of, she raised a good point. I like Nietzsche and I like Yvette, and I support them. And to me, they are prime examples of the voice of the real black agenda for our American descendants of slavery. Thank you.